Welcome back, denizens of the Omniverse, for episode 2 of season 2 of Interview with the Vampire. Last episode, we got a little bit more of an insight into Armand and Louis' relationship, a little glimmer, a little glimpse. That seems to be something definitely we're going to be building to, since that was kind of one of the big twists of last season. Not quite there yet, but we did pick up with him and Claudia. Once they kind of took off on their little trip across Europe to go look for vampires, it just was not the best of times to go do that. And they found a vampire, but the revelation about the world around them, what was tainting the blood and all this, I guess they were just kind of like, you know what, I'm out, and just chucked themselves into the fire. And you know, they're continuing their search. And that's pretty much where we left off. But with that all said, let's get ready to hop in. If you want to see the Pointe reaction where you can watch this without all the edits we got to do to get this stuff on YouTube, you can check it out over on Patreon. You also get up to 4 weeks early access, depending on what tier you sign up for. You also can submit your own comments, questions, and fun facts for me to read at the end of these episodes. This is a great way to support the channel, help us do the things we do over here. But at the end of the day, really appreciate it. Enjoy this reaction. To least leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already, because it really helps these videos out. Huge shout out to the team over at Prepper for helping me edit down these highlights for you guys here on YouTube. And with that all said out of the way, let's get ready to hop into episode 2. Here we go. Episode 9. Do you know what it means to be loved by death? Thanos doesn't. Am I right? Deadpool could tell you, though. And Agatha.
For what Paris means to me now is very different from what it meant to me then. I feel something close to happiness when I think of it. Paris.
Paris sucks. Paris sucks.
Paris is a universe all to itself.
Macarons are bullshit.
I like how they just started ignoring Daniel and he just, let's continue the story.
Truth is more valuable if it takes you a few years to find it. Rust on the mother tongue?
A lot of rust. And I'm looking for francs and diamonds. Truth don't pay.
At least here, at least has familiarity with the language.
I mean, you want francs in pockets? These people are broke.
Maybe we chose the wrong town.
I saw a woman tonight.
Love that they're just hanging out up on top of this thing.
And what's that supposed to say?
Says Paris is on her way back. Give her a little time is all.
What makes you think Paris is a woman?
Well, now I know you're hungry.
Tell me what a woman is. I'll tell you what a woman is.
Okay, there's a little bit of that spunk. That was the word I think I was looking for last time.
Always following the black house. Blackouts are easy.
So you want a hard meal, francs and diamonds, and you want heaven to open up and rain down mixed stars? Is that?
It's custom and practice for traveling vampires to make themselves known to a local coven.
We didn't get that memo.
Oh, interesting.
Claudia and I were looking over our shoulder at all. It was in astonishment. Our skin did not attract the same attention.
There wasn't any racism in mid-20th century France.
Oh, I didn't say that. I was just grateful knowing no one wanted to lynch me or direct me to the far end of the cafe counter.
Are you two going to finish each other's sentences for the whole session?
We've been together 77 years, Daniel.
47 more than he did with Lestat.
Interesting.
Keep selling it.
They are laying it on pretty thick, if that is, I don't know. But hey, hold up. But after everything we've known up until this point, sure, they could definitely be finishing each other's sentences, considering that there's no reason they shouldn't be able to gallivant through one another's mind because one didn't make the other or was made by the other. So their thoughts and their emotions and everything would be open to one another. So I feel like in this circumstance, given what we know, it'd be a little more understanding for them to do it. Especially if one like Armand is listening in and he's not, Louis finding a loss for the words for what he's trying to say, like when he chimed in earlier, but it does come off extremely performative. And of course, we as the viewer know after last episode when they were there together privately, they did talk about putting on this not ruse, but taking control of the interview. Then is that this? Maybe. Daniel ain't, he's like, what are you doing? What's going on here? It's not working just yet.
The Parisian vampire is a prideful monster.
2 kilometers from our theater in Pigalle.
I had endured hundreds of nights.
Okay, it is getting a little exhausting. It's every other sentence.
For 150 years. 77 years, and it still feels like a slight. Reports were confounding. Were they romantic? No. Who was the master? Neither, it seemed. The male hunted to please her. The girl suffered philosophical conversation to please him. And plain as their tourists and soldiers.
Oof.
I took up photography as a hobby. When you have the ability to stretch a millisecond into an hour, it's a reduction. I liked taking photographs.
I get that.
Ask yourself, what brought them here? What brought you here? Is it coming together random? The metro late for him, the rain.
Sometimes I want the short answer.
You're talking to the wrong person.
You take the picture.
Maybe he ain't listening.
Let a brother primp a bit. Let me think I'm deeper than I am.
Who are you outside of me?
I'm the reticent vampire of the night arrondissement. The night capturing disappointment and regret is only the reticent vampire can.
This seemed like extremely relaxed here.
Who would you be? What do you want? How you gonna get there?
He probably, I mean, had none of that ever happened, he'd probably be right back where he was always had been, doing what he doing.
Paris sucks.
Yeah.
Too delusional left bank dilettante vibe.
She wasn't telling me something I didn't know about myself. She was giving me permission.
Oh, what did Armand?
Not Claudia.
Excuse me.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, okay.
Let's talk about it later tonight.
Gotta knock out another chapter. One a week. I think it was the yeah that pissed her off most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suppose I'm afraid my joylessness will take away his happiness, and maybe I don't want his feelings to depend on mine anymore.
I mean, that's valid.
A forever switch of wild opposites at play.
It's not fair to be beholden to another one's feelings like that, especially at the expense of your own. But I get it. I mean, they only have each other right now, but that in itself is kind of its own cage, too.
Mademoiselle, méfiez-vous d'elle.
Oh, wait. Oh, so she's just gonna go in anyway.
French is ugly.
You can take it in from me, yes? You do alterations.
My grande, please don't pretend to be something you're not, yeah? Believe me, womanhood will happen soon enough.
Never thought about choosing to pretend. Life hasn't been kind enough to allow me that. Maybe if it had been, I'd be a lonely dressmaker in an empty shop, denying my only potential customer.
Respect my time.
The dress for my body, and I'll need some gloves.
Real Rashid. Oh, you really shouldn't wear gloves when handling historical documents, Real Rashid. It reduces dexterity.
Wait, did that course correct between seasons after like that comment somebody had mentioned? He was like, we did that last season, we ain't doing that this season.
They do not lie, but neither do they tell you a thorough story.
That's true.
Who are the young men? Vampires?
Those were our young friends, humans, guys.
Interesting.
Old now, most are dead. Some we simply drained for sport. Well, generally me.
I drained them emotionally.
You could tell from his walk he was an American.
I'm an American. What exactly is an American walk?
There was no way to describe it other than optimistic.
Someone steady on his feet, but
With a history of chasing the wrong kind of love.
I'll describe it myself, thank you. But with a history of chasing the wrong kind of love.
Explore who you are to find the right kind of love than in a public park.
Daniel is such a bitch.
I was convinced we were being toyed with, and I could hold back the coven only so long.
Yeah, two stray vampires just coming in the way they did, and they, like, what's going on here?
He looked like a boy masquerading as a gentleman, but I sensed his ancient power right away.
He's gonna fill you with that ancient power.
I will not, please.
No, please.
He said, I will not harm you.
And I never have.
No. Oh, shit. I felt a well coming there. God damn it.
And bring the petite beauty.
He's only really known harm up until this point, really. Emotional and physical.
You are most welcome.
A lot of emotional. He's an art director. Their own vampire theater, apparently.
Claudia! Alfonso! Well, they found me, found us.
Yeah, this is what she's been looking for the whole time, is more of them. See, that patience paid off after all. What?
Our finest seats.
Okay, so it's all show.
This is projections. Things and lights.
It's got a vibe to it. It's like haunted house theater of sorts.
Welcome to the displacement of reason. By that I mean, good evening. It masks a birth and a rebirth of what is
The
considered
rope slip. He's really flying.
instead of mere human drama.
Oh, that's cool.
Delve into the underbelly of the human soul.
You can even see its limb. So he's being, like, we're talking like how they're actually doing this. He's on a different rig altogether than that one we're seeing.
I salute your honesty right after I take my boot from your ass. Being vampires and by nature superior to you.
Whee! You gotta say, like, for him to be really flying, to replicate the look and the feel and the flow of being on a wire, that I imagine would take a lot of precision and skill.
Remember that when you leave here tonight, you are all complicit and appalling. I love you for it, and I welcome you.
Dude, he is something else.
You disgust me.
Ooh, the spittle on that delivery. Ooh, what a vibe.
The actors performed in front of a cinema screen, animations and bits of film in near perfect synchronization.
That's impressive.
The light of the projector on the faces of our actors lent a romantic air to their performances.
Dude, that's I've not seen something done like that before.
The plays were timeless, updated for the age and all from our 150-year repertoire.
They were weird. Always ended in death, cruel, barely motivated violence.
It is a genre in and of itself.
I had seen a smile or a laugh come out of her that wasn't for my benefit.
Aww.
The fake vampire teeth, the fake blood.
It was all a seduction.
Yeah.
The only play that mattered was the last.
I mean, it's a fantastic facade. It allows them a semblance of, truth to live while it beckons no mind from everyone here to bear witness.
Woodcutter! Who are you?
Oh.
What is this? She's disrupted the performance.
But this is purposeful, but it's real, isn't it? Oh my god, this is fucked up.
This is an English-only performance.
People are vampires.
Oh my god. This is messed up. This might be the most fucked up thing we've seen so far.
Suppose the Reaper had a heart. Someone would have to take your place. Him.
Or she's bait to lure someone in they actually want to kill. And again, everybody will now be convinced that it's all farce once it actually happens.
The next time you're in the pew, you turn to your neighbor and say, "Peace be unto you."
Or he's still going to kill her, and this is all about... Oh, you see him match?
Not his time, Annika.
He's actually calming her first. I don't know if that's a mercy or not.
Necrorumen of Antwerp.
God, those nails. I'm waiting for like a...
Conscious death, Annika.
The difference in reaction there.
No pain.
Oh! That's real, isn't it? I'm right there with Louis on this one. I am disgusted, but entranced. I'm kind of nauseous go after that, man. That is fucked up. Again, that's assuming what I think is happening. Maybe in the next couple of seconds, they will be like, oh yeah, no, it was all a joke. And there was a mat down there. But the thing is, they could feast, they could feed, they could humiliate, they could degrade, whatever. After these hours of building up this facade to cover the reality here, the buy-in from the syrup, from the rope, from the everything else to convince everybody here that what they're witnessing isn't real. Meanwhile, this person is pleading, begging, screaming for someone to help them. Like, go back so she can go home to her husband, to her kid, and they're just like, sorry, it's all a show. Die. And that is sick. That is twisted. I don't like that. I don't like it anymore. It was all fun and games until it got just a little too real. I thought we were maybe if we got some audience participation, but they like have like their own little prisoners that they're just plucking up out of hotel rooms to go put up on the stage to sing song and dance and like ha ha tra la la, and then they eat them. And the fact that he's like takes his bite, trances her, and then sends her reeling and screaming to just be like just torn apart by the rest of them. Yeah, no, nope. Yeah. That poor girl, dude. Did she do something to deserve it, or are you just a bunch of bastards?
Waiting for you to humble us with your appearance. Was it worth the wait?
Oh. Yeah, y'all get a fun little welcome. He was trying to like posture for the shits and giggles of it all, but one of them broke.
The Théâtre des Vampires.
You know, if they didn't just do what they just did, maybe I would find this just a tad more charming.
Oh, nice drums. Thank you.
Tuan and Quang Pham, father and son. They joined the coven on an eventful pre-century tour of the colony.
And very different times.
My son is rebellious.
English.
His father is an asshole.
God damn it.
American vampiresses all wear pastels.
Claudia's the only American vampirist, so I say that's a yes.
Alluring is you.
Louis was expelled for his beauty.
Oh. Both have the same maker.
We did.
His name was Bruce.
Oh, they're not being truthful.
Is he Scottish?
Oh, He got turned over here, though, didn't he? Is that why that raised a little bit of an eyebrow?
We don't talk about him much. He threw himself into a fire in front of us. I got a question. Who's that handsome man on the wall up there?
Oh, please tell me it's not Lestat.
Our co-founder and the finest actor ever to walk on.
It's so him. Fuck off.
Lestat de Leoncourt.
Should have seen that coming. Did not see that.
Yeah.
And one looked up at the painting and saw that Teresa's dead husband was Roberto. He had eloped with his enemy's widow. It's a telenovela. That means you knew Lestat before he did.
And yes, he was briefly with Lestat.
Oh my God.
You shared a boyfriend. This is great.
I fucked Santiago too, and Celeste and Estelle.
Just not in the way you think it is, Daniel.
I'm done thinking. Peel in some popcorn. Let's flip to channel 300 something. It's a Univision night.
He's such a sashy bitch, and I love it.
Are you crazy?
What about the plane? Tell me you did not feel pride.
No. Why?
Your fear of being exposed. Vampire pride. Those Frenchies love being vampire. What else is there to be scared of other than your own lust?
Oh, you felt my lust.
Now I know what two blood fat cocks.
I needed confirmation of his death, and then I remembered his frequent money wires came from a law firm with an address in the Marais.
Wait a second. So he thinks he's dead. So was that presumption that he might have survived a fear or something up in the... So not an absolute, not a certainty.
We have not heard from Monsieur de Leoncourt since February 1940, when we processed several wires for him for a party he was throwing. I know who you are, Monsieur.
Mm-hmm.
You said mint?
Perhaps he is dead or sleeping.
Oh, he knows.
Seeing as you are now here in Paris, it is confirmation enough for me to pass this box to you, as instructed in case of...
Wow, what the fuck? I bet he wasn't expecting this. That's gotta make things even more confusing. My Louis. Oh. We're gonna hear him read it in his own words.
In the event that you are reading this, something dreadful has occurred.
Is it weird that I've missed his voice?
Do not waste your life seeking revenge on the person or persons who did this. Do not give them the satisfaction of the hunt.
Oh, but it's them.
You go carry on with your living.
That's the point. That's the point.
You are the only being I trust. And whom I love. Above and beyond myself.
Again, not true. Your actions speak otherwise.
Lestat de Leoncourt.
Again, maybe he did. I'm just like so sour towards him, and I admit that. And again, yes, all of this has been from this perspective. There's some things, regardless of what perspective of, there's nothing that could really change that feeling or what he's done. But his inability to actually make things about him is one of those things. I mean, like Antoinette was one of those things that he could not compromise for that. He said he loved her too, you know, and then he's like, all of my love was yours. Everything, you were above it all. I loved you more than me. I don't buy that bit at all. At all. I don't know that he loves anything more than him, but, it's just so funny because it's I could also seeing him be that, what's the word? Not poetic. I mean, maybe poetic. That, like, the way that he's very much so choosing his words purposefully. He's like, if you're reading this, don't hunt those that took me away. Let treachery, let that act, let that eat them from within. But like, that's the thing. It's them, and he's like, don't go hunting them, don't bother, because they don't have to, and let the knowledge of what they did just fester forever. it just feels like it's one of those things, maybe in hindsight, it makes it feel like he knew that this would happen. And he's like, hey, let it haunt you, as he smiles from the grave or whatever. Otherwise, it's just the fucked up irony of it, you know, and just like seeing this. But again, just like with the other times he's tried to like rope him back in, it's this attempt to like revise everything through his gaslighting, through all of that. It's like all the gifts that he did to try to placate Louis in the in-between, when it's not really what he wanted to be doing, and he knew he was doing it specifically to manipulate Louis. He admittedly did so as well. He admitted as such. And this could just be another one of those to just try to control the narrative, and maybe, and if this was how things played out, to just kind of be all whimsical and loving about it, and yet again steer his mind away from remembering him in any of those ill ways. Who knows? You never know with that psycho, man. But I've missed him so much. That's the fucked up thing about it, dude. Oh, when his hand showed, I was like, yay, we get to hear him talk. We get to see him again. Fuck off.
Lestat, Lestat, Lestat. Love of my life, or is it more rebound of my life?
Oh my God.
Joke, you serve it up.
Alice is in her 3rd trimester. She steps in gum on the corner of Lou Palatine and Servandoni.
The old parlor trick.
In that short purple dress you favor.
I like the way she walked in it.
Oh, yeah.
You worked so...
Oh!
Which I did.
And what did she say when you finally asked her to marry you?
Oh.
In middle school, you stole your dad's Playboy magazines, sold them at recess.
Danny.
Uh-oh.
Did Alice say when you finally asked her to marry you?
Louis, perhaps we should...
She said no.
Huh?
This is them reining control back.
Would you like to know what she thinks of you now? If she thinks of you now, we could do that.
Or we could simply return to the interview.
Yeah, if he wants to keep being a little bitch about things, they can play that game right back at him.
Yes.
Good.
Well played. Well played.
What happened next?
That look on Louis' face. He's like, you're fucking right. What happened next? Got a vampire biker gang in Paris.
The longer the ride, the more intense the craving.
Oh! You know what? Why not? Oh, wait. They don't start ETing, do they?
My American friend, be one with us.
Be here and in the moment.
As far as our petrol will take us.
I thought he was starting to fly with the motorcycle for a second. You know, in theory, they could do that, though, right? The ones that can fly.
De la Croix, whilst their countrymen clutch ration cards.
He said, put the camera away, Louis.
Une réunion d'amis et d'associés. Oui, mais vous avez pas la permission, non? Santiago?
Give us a layout, would you, love?
Oh!
19 guests plus the host. 13 men, 8 women. Small firearms in the library bureau.
Jesus Christ.
You coming?
I hit before the play. I'm gonna...
They just slaughter everybody here. How do you cover that up?
You're not gonna win.
I am now where I most want to be.
Just the chaos in the background.
Very nice.
Just this little bit cute little conversation here is there's just people getting eviscerated. Oh my God! In the background.
I find myself thinking, what is in there?
And thinking the same about you. And thinking about you often.
Coven life can get labyrinthian depths of... It can be tricky.
I'm sure it can be. It's basically like one big old polycube.
She's something, your Claudia.
Spark in the dark.
Pity she was made so young. particularly skilled at blocking her thoughts. You must work harder on that. I could help you hone that skill. Oh, yeah?
Just, right there, dead center, camera. Just a murder.
I felt some trepidation when the name Lestat was uttered.
Uh-oh. Who? Oof.
You can tell me when you're ready. May I suggest you never visit Roger Habert and Associates again? That sort of inquiry.
Oh, it's probably something that gets attention.
Maître Aisé, Gavin endearment. Ach, mon fille.
In English! I love everybody and everything in this every moment, right? Every now!
The whole situation is fucked up, but I am weirdly happy for Claudia. How fucked up is that? Oh God, though, look at the torment and horror, the pain in Louis' eye. Wait, is the episode over?
I felt.
What is this?
Before I saw him.
Yeah, what the fuck? The episode just ended like that? It didn't even go to credits. What the fuck? It's never done that before. This is the after show. What the fuck? That played like it was just the next scene. That was weird. I hadn't done that before. What an interesting episode. Again, they've started to wrestle control of the interview back in this, To be fair, like, I get Daniel's attitude towards a lot of this and towards what is definitely partly performative, and he called him out on it, but then he started to disrespect the story and the why, what it means. And that happens sometimes too, just because sure, it might fancy something akin to a telenovela of sorts or a soap opera, but that shit happens. It's not, let me just throw away all of this and grab the popcorn and let's just stop thinking, turn my brain off. I mean, in a world so small, how is it that shocking that somebody like Lestat, who's as old as he is and is from there, would not come up in the local mouths of the vampires there? I mean, he's been there, he's from there. Like he makes it sound like it's some like grand manipulation of the narrative or just a plot contrivance or something like that. But like in a world so small and so secretive, it would be very known. And that's the thing about them being the only ones over there that they're aware of. And that's why even Bruce's name raised an eyebrow. Most vampires are known to them. They seem to be ones that are not. And that's why everybody's so very confounded. They were just waiting patiently for them to introduce themselves or find themselves stumbling upon them down the road anyway. It's interesting too, just watching just how Louis is like it's almost like this is like, because that's one of the things that kind of drew him to Paris and French in general, was especially being in the South where he grew up, that influenced so much of that world there. I mean, it was in a lot of ways the primary language. And he hasn't used it in so long that, like, they called out when they got here, he was a little rusty at it. But it is like New Orleans was like Paris 2, kind of, in this way. It was like an extension of it, or a copy in a way. Not a copy, that's not the right word. Like an arm, an extension, a limb, kind of like a distant relative of it. So now he's kind of, I'm sure part of it reminds him a little bit of home. I'm sure a lot of it was like, it's home, but like accentuated. It's like all of the things that serve as origins for what he grew up knowing. So there is this kind of comfort to it, this fascination with it. Plus then you have the romanticization of all of it. And then again, like, he's very much so, again, unlike Claudia, connected to his humanity and his empathy towards humans. So like in that, he can find some semblance of normalcy here, something that maybe almost allows him to remember a little bit about what it was like before all of this. Meanwhile, Claudia is trying to find her way here because she doesn't really have a lot of that. Like, sure, she grew up in the same town as him, but she didn't live it as long as he did. So like she's at this point spent more time roaming all these random countries in Europe and whatever than she's been being a vampire back in the States. And that's just going to keep happening, keep going the older she gets. And then she's always been connected to that because at such a young and transitionary age, when she was turned, she spent more time as a vampire than she's ever been as a human. So that's influenced a lot of the way that she perceives things, and she's been looking for oneness, connectiveness, you know, she's been looking for belonging because she didn't have any of that. And I think that's, especially as a child, you kind of want that. You want to find your people, your pod, your friends. And she could only ever have Louis, her family. And, you know, she wants to be free. She wants to be somewhere where she could be herself. It's one of those things where Louis kind of grown up, conditioned in this way to be kind of reserved in this way. But she's kind of in this, again, this point, this perennial point in her life where she just needs more than that. That's not enough. And she's only been stifling herself to placate him throughout this, as he too has been sacrificing his own stationary comfort to help her go look for vampires and people like that. Like he entertained her journey, her quest, you know, as we saw in episode 1 of this. And now we're at a place where it's like, okay, it was a little bit of a compromise. And I think he knew that when he decided Paris would be the next place they go to. And they're here, and now it's just like, I don't know, it's just like now we're kind of back in New Orleans again in that way, like in that mindset again a little bit. But then they find this group, this theater, this fucked up little, like they're fun to hang out when you're a vampire, I guess. Like they all seem like, I mean, like, I don't know, compared to like what we've known Bruce and Lestat so far. And then the one that chucked themselves into the fire, that old school vampire we saw last episode. Like they seem fun, like quirky. They're theater kids, but vampires, but they're vampires. And the shit they do to their food is so much more fucked up than anything I've seen Lestat do. I mean, I don't know, that I can recall immediately, at least. That was emotional, psychological humiliation and torture in front of an audience of her own, as she is just eaten alive, screaming for help, and nobody believes it. Nobody believes it because of the smoke and the mirrors. It's fucked up, dude. And then they just go to this random like mansion party and slaughter everyone. How do you do that? How frequently do they go out on these hunts? If they said it, I missed it. Because that can't go unnoticed. God. But yeah, the whole thing with Lestat being like a part of that troop, or like a formative, oh no, he not even more than that. He was a co-founder of it, which again aligns up with his obsession with the arts and all these other things here and there, especially given his age. God, though, but also the ties too, that both Armand and him both dated him at one point or another. But like as Armand said, again, like I said, when your world's so small, there's going to be some crisscrossing going on within your relationships. I mean, it happens like just even like something as small as like high school. It doesn't always happen, but hell, you can end up dating the same person your best friend dated, or somebody you know dated, or whatever. Like, it's just because you all are in the same pool, you know, sharing some experiences, some crossover is going to happen. And with it being that small, and you can't necessarily just go out and have a relationship with someone else, especially let alone a human. So they do have to kind of gallivant with one another. Like he said, he's basically been through that entire troop. And yeah, Lestat used to be here. So it's just like, I don't know. Daniel is just, he's been getting increasingly cynical. And I do appreciate it. I love his comments. But I do think that actually, even for me in this episode, was being even more of a bitch than normal. And I was like, it was kind of nice to kind of see them kind of push back, because I think his like cynicism was getting the better of him in this, and at this point, that it was just getting kind of petty. And it's nice to see them kind of turn it around, oddly enough to say. The way they got to that Danny inside, that young Danny, the way that Armand said, hey, don't worry, I'll be there with you from this point onward. We'll get to that boy inside. And that they did. And he was submissive there towards the end. Just what happened next? No bitching, no snarky comment after all of that. They got through. He started a trimmer too. Fascinating episode. Fascinating, fucked up episode, especially when that one dude was like head puppeting the one guy. Then again, we saw Lestat do that, like full arm in somebody too. Fucking, like I said before, Frisky Dingo'd his ass. That's like episode 1 of Frisky Dingo. If you've never seen Frisky Dingo, it's an old Adult Swim cartoon by the people that did Archer. It's a pretty fucked up show, but whatever. Anyway, that's about all I got, I think, for this one. Let's go to Patreon. Let's start off with Valentine. What do you make of the way Louis snapped at Daniel for his joke and Armand's following reaction to it? Personally, I love Daniel, but he makes it a habit to do more than his job. I can see where Louis is coming from, but Daniel is also human. I need to remember the exact joke. Where was it?
What a comfort. Your ability to continue pulling humor from his pain. Cathartic.
It's a joke. It's a joke. You serve it up.
Alice is in her 3rd trimester.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, he is downplaying. It's like, that's what I was talking about. He was downplaying the severity of all of this. Like, you know, the relationship, what it means, like the cosmic interconnect. Like, I don't know. Like, he was just, like, it was just everything I was just kind of talking about. I was like, the fact that he's downplaying it so intently, despite the reality of the situation, it's showing a bias versus him being an objective interviewer when sitting down here to do his job. You know, he's not here to do his job when he's doing that. And he poked the bear. He touched on a sensitive topic. He downplayed, he pushed, he prodded. But yes, they're both human. Really, at the end of the day, they're as much as they want to feign being these immortal gods or whatever you want to say, Louis, more than any of them, has been very much so in touch with his humanity. And they can be angered. They got emotions. We know that. And I mean, I think he needed to. I don't think I don't know how else you're going to get through to Daniel in this situation, to hear him out, especially when Louis is being as vulnerable as he can be up until this point. You know, there is a lot of pain there. There's a lot of hurt there, just like there is for Daniel and everything else. But he's using their story and calling it bullshit so that he, in almost in like a self-defensive kind of way, to call, you know, when they try to raise his stuff up, it's almost like a defense mechanism so he doesn't have to face the bullshit of his life. You know, and it was a down, dirty, low blow that probably kind of needed to happen to get things back on track. But I think it was honestly at that point, like, I've given Daniel a lot of leeway, a lot of like highway or roadway, whatever the phrase is, a lot of slack to kind of do what he does. But I think this is like one of the first times where I actually felt like he was kind of being a little like he was kind of crossing that line, kind of exhausting that leeway that was given, whatever. I don't really have a better word for it right now. And yeah, very rightfully so, Louis snapped it. Because at the end of the day, vampire or not, he still has human feelings at the end of the day. He still reacts like a human. He still gets angry, riled up, and it's like Daniel is taking the piss out of something that means a lot to him, that is deep-rooted pain. And so he snapped back and returned in kind with something he knew would also deal a blow right at Daniel, and then that would put them both. Honestly, it didn't even level the playing field. It honestly tipped the scales to putting them, as they were hoping, to be in charge of the interview. It's kind of wild, man. But no, I think, like, given everything going on, if I was like right there in Louis' position, I probably would have done something similar. I mean, I'm guilty of that too. You rile me up, I'll snap, man. I think anybody would when pressured, especially over something very sensitive like that. Let's see. Nightcrawler247. Hello. So we've met Armand's coven. Who are you liking the most so far, and what do you think of them? Was this past kind of life you expected Armand to have? Honestly, I expected something like high society, kind of snooty, but it weirdly, yes, it's theater, it's the arts, but it's so much more playful than I expected. He's running a theater, but not like a classy theater. It's kind of like a genre pulp theater. I didn't get that air at all. They have fun. It's schlocky. It's all the things they could do to kind of poke fun at themselves, but it allows them to be free. It's a very great con. As far as who do I like most out of them that we've seen, I mean, Santiago, he's just got a gravitas, a pull, an allure about him, but he is also the ringmaster that did what he did on that stage, and I cannot forgive him that. But he was getting ridden while riding a bike, and man, it ain't that the dream. I mean, I don't really, what was the other one? The one that was gravitating to them, Estelle? I kind of liked her as well. We didn't really get to know the other ones all that much. Like, we got the names as we popped around, but we don't really got a sense of personality. Between Armand and Santiago, those are the two we really kind of got to actually, like, hear a lot from. I hope we get to hear a little bit more from them. Can we also take a moment to appreciate the accent work in the show? I mean, it's phenomenal, assuming none of these people are delivering their native accents, especially in this play where they're all from different places, putting on a play that utilizes different accents to placate to different audiences. It's honestly pretty wild. Like, sometimes, like, I could not tell you who's using a real accent and who's not, really. It is impressive. I mean, considering Louis' entire accent is not Jacob's native accent. So he's been putting on one the entire way through the show from beginning to end. In the book, Louis is pale-skinned with very dark, straight hair and what's supposed to be very beautiful green eyes. He's also supposed to have soft features and look around 20. I think that was when I was talking about last time, like, what did the book counterparts look like? Because I was curious about what their physical descriptions were in the books. Like, how young are they supposed to look? What kind of aura are they supposed to give off? Because, like, Claudia is so very, like Armand pointed out in this, is like, you know, if only she had a body that matched her mind, you know, the things that she could do in the world. Like, she's so, like, that's another thing that alienates her, is the fact that, you know, even like when she went to go buy that dress, the shopkeep there was like, he's like, you don't even have a woman's body, or whatever she said, you know? Because I was wondering, like, how, like, in that, were they meant to be perceived? And Lestat has thick, wavy blonde hair. They nailed that. Dude, that mane he had when he popped up here, whew, not too far off from Sam. Gray eyes, and also around 20. So, give or take, not too far off from one another. So the context of what they look like doesn't really matter, or it doesn't really make it better. But remember, the book vampires are important. But in the book, vampires are impotent. Not important. I mean, they are important to the book. You know, it is the whole plot, but that was not what you said. You said impotent. Right. Let's see. And then we have The Love of Batman 1989. Did you feel as though they romanticized their time and their concept of time? Also, why the theater, it made it perform, why risk such a performance? I mean, yeah. I mean, in a little bit of a way, like, Armand kind of said, like, him reducing time to just a photo was kind of like a reduction of that time itself. He found it kind of silly. He didn't really get it, or at least that's what I took away from that. And I take it as like it's Louis' way of grounding himself and remembering things and hanging on to things, because he's always kind of doing that. There's always something internally that's kind of keeping him chained, whether it's his past, whether it's this. And I think like the pictures are a way to ground these moments and have them and hold them, and they are immortalized. But with the running of time, with an endless amount of time ahead of you, those moments become more and more fleeting, less and less valuable. And I don't know. There was a little bit of that romanticization. God damn it, I can't say it. You know what I'm trying to say. There was a little bit of that going on with the whole concept of time and their relationship to it, and then the way that I think that Louis is kind of butting against it. But also, like I said, with the theater, like you said, why the theater? Why risk such a performance? I mean, honestly, it's in its own way, it shows how dumb they think humans are. And in truth, you put on a show like this, you can gallivant, you can parade what makes you you. It's a way to be yourself without having to hide it, while at the same time using that to hide. It's a push and pull, a give and take that allows them to be more free than you would see any other vampire. And the song and dance, the hours of it is conditioning. It's like when you hide, it's like Claudia said, the best way to hide a lie is between a bunch of truths. In truth, everything up until that point was syrup, was ropes, wires, sounds, music, animation on screen. So when the real stuff happens, it's just part of the act. It's just well done acting. No one would get up on stage and verify, and no one get up there. Like, it's honestly, it's the perfect, most fucked up way to do what they do. And it is this kind of like middle finger to humanity. It is this kind of like humiliation ritual, because they are doing this in front of them. They are literally laughing, clapping, and parading the death of one of their own, and they don't know it. The sick, twisted, like, what do you want to say? Like superiority high you would get from that, I would imagine, would be insanely intense. It's all about hubris. It's like the same reason Lestat would do what he did a lot of the time when it came to his victims. Lord yourself above them. Make them clap, make them sing song and dance like monkeys as your little audience, while you just eat them from the inside out, and they laugh at it, while they accept you, they applaud it, they come back, they pay you for it even. It's so fucked up. Like, and Claudia was eating it up. Me and Louis, though, were kind of on the same page with that. He looked absolutely horrified, and I was like, this is absolutely awful. But it's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's really not that big of a risk. I don't think, especially at this time, at this day and age. Let's see. Tammy, first, how amazing is Ben Daniels as Santiago? Fucking hypnotic, like I said. At first, at a distance, I thought it was Jason Isaacs. That's why I pulled out the x-ray to take a look. But then, obviously, once you get closer, once you zoomed in on the stage, very clearly, was not. But he was, out of everybody, he had the most presence for sure. Do you like the way they are including Lestat? He's not just in this part of the, he's just not in this part of the book at all. So I thought the way they wove him in was brilliant. Love him or hate him, he makes every scene more interesting. I agree. While, yes, he is a detestable, not human being, detestable entity in so many ways, he is so much fun and ooey gooey. He just oozes this intoxicating, alluring charisma that is just so much fun to watch every time he's on screen, even when he's doing the most detestable things. And I do like that. It shows that he's just constantly haunting him. And I think that's a good, you've seen that a lot now these days. I've been seeing that kind of used as like a device. and a mechanism for keeping alive. Hell, even in One Piece season 2 here for the live action, they use that to keep around an actor who shouldn't be around in this, but he's just too good of a casting to waste. So they found a way to do something similar with the character in season 2 for that. And like, it just shows like how much somebody can weigh on your mind and the way that you can represent them in this way and how they linger, how they weigh you down. Even like Claudia last episode was talking about how he still carries him around in here. He's like, he's not here, but you keep him alive here. But they also, like, by this point, like, they think he's dead or hope he's dead. They don't know, which is interesting because that begs the question is what we remember, what we saw at the end of last season. Was that a hope? Was that a fabrication? Was that what really happened? Or was that up for interpretation? Is that something that he doesn't know but imagines? That's an interesting thing to kind of think about for it. Then finally we have Ruve. I think it's Ruve. How do you feel about Louise expressing his distaste for cruelty and yet smiling and enjoying torturing Daniel? Well, I mean, there's more to this, but I want to touch on that real quick because that's the first thing right out of the gate. I mean, because I think in this case, it's because Daniel is being cruel to him. And it's a reactionary thing because he's touched upon very sensitive things that are very close, near and dear to him. It'd be like if you had a beautiful, loving mother, great relationship with her, and you're just sitting there hearing somebody absolutely fucking talk her into the mud, you might have an emotional reaction. I don't equate what was going on between Daniel and Louis to being anything similar to what was going on the stage. Because that's literally somebody being physically mauled and murdered and tortured and emotionally just destroyed. It's not, I don't really see those things as being even on the same plateau. I don't think he's enjoying torturing Daniel per se. It's just because he wasn't even participating in it until Daniel would not would stop doing what he had been doing. He was just downplaying, belittling, just grinding in at and just trying to dismantle these very real feelings Louis is trying to exercise and confess to him. And he lashed out. I don't know. I think it all is like, I don't know. I don't think they're the same thing. I think this is just returning in kind, a slight that was given to him as opposed to doing it out of enjoyment purely. Because Armand, saw him as has kind of been looking down on him ever since he came in here. But even like Louis finds value in what Daniel's brought up until this point, and hell has even fought for Daniel against Armand up until this point all the way. But it's like Daniel, like I said earlier, I think he crossed the line in this one. I think that's what that was. How do you feel about not just trying to stop Louis when he sees Daniel in distress, but also soothing him? I think because he knew that Daniel touched a nerve, and it's such a big nerve when something that pivotal, so formative, so deeply rooted in us, our feelings, our fears, our everything, our insecurities. We can lash out, we can snap, we can clap back, we can reactionarily retaliate. It's an instinctual reaction. It's a self-defense. And I think he knew that. I think Armand sensed that he went too far, and that in kind, there wasn't really a whole lot to stop Louis from going too far in retaliation. It just really highlights how human Louis is, I think. I mean, I've been guilty of that a lot myself in the day. When you press me a lot, I can fucking snap, dude. I think anybody could in a similar situation when it's something that is the same level of sensitivity as this particular topic. How is this the second time we've seen Armand come to Daniel's aid when Louis has gone too far? First in season 1, episode 5, when Louis triggers Daniel's Parkinson's when talking about the diary. Again, another sensitive nerve. These things in his past, whether it be Lestat, whether it be Claudia, it's the people very close to him, very important to him. And it's just like, he's just like anybody trying to like rein them in. You know, it's just like, hey, don't go down that road. It's not good for you. These feelings aren't good. This isn't you. He's trying to protect him, trying to shield him, but also at the same time, probably even trying to protect Daniel. But yeah, that you're right. I forgot about that too. It's not the only time we've seen that happen. And it's always been about someone that he deeply cares about being at the center of it, as well as his relationships to it, the things that have happened, the recounting of it, and Daniel's attitude towards it. You know, this is all despite Armand and Daniel having a pretty tense relationship. I still don't like I've heard somebody mentioned this last time that some people were talking about them having a tense relationship. I don't know where that comes from. Oh, sorry. I misread. Sorry. You said Daniel. In my head, I read Daniel out loud, but in my head, I heard Louis. Sorry. Yes, Armand and Daniel definitely do have a very tense relationship. And I'm wondering like what all happened there, because we were flickering back to Armand doing like this little like pre-interrogation. I assume like we had these flickers between him and Armand that I think was from their first meeting, but we haven't really touched upon that just yet. There definitely is something there. And I think a lot of what Armand's doing is protecting Louis. And it's maybe something happened that first time has made him even more guarded now. As we knew, Daniel back then was way more rough around the edges, maybe unprofessional, maybe desperate, maybe also hopped up on God knows what, as we knew. So he was probably a little more off the rails even then. I think Armand's probably even more guarded now. I hope we get more of that. Like a little bit more of their first interaction, the first interview and all of that as well. Do you think Armand does this as a power play, or is this more about going between Armand and Daniel, or Armand and Louis that we haven't been privy to yet? I mean, maybe, because there is a lot of that they've been purposefully been leaving vague, like one, Armand even being there at the bar when he first met Louis, him kind of being this person to vet him, this little like private flicker between him. I don't know. I mean, he's already seen Daniel as a threat just simply being here, but I feel like at least right now, I got no reason to think otherwise, that it's just simply he's looking out for Louis. I haven't been given any reason to think is anything more than that. Like I said before, he didn't even want Daniel to be here. I don't know. I don't know if it's anything more than that. There's something obviously there's something there to it, but I don't know. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and find out. Anyway, we've been talking for quite a minute on this one, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. We're going to pass it off to you. What did you guys think? How did you feel about the episode? Sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. Hope you enjoy the reaction. If it did, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if not already. Right, if you want to see the full reaction, as always, you can check it out over on Patreon. And speaking of before we go, I want to shout out Lily Chen Sun, Kiana Chanel, McGreg, Angela Burr, Calvin Brindley, CP Bastard, Ariat Coyote, Ty Lund, and Denise Mauricio. Thank you guys so much for becoming saviors in the channel, helping sponsor and support the rescues I've been taking care of for the office. You guys have been a tremendous help with all that. Thank you guys so much. And as always, I want to give a huge special thank you to all of our channel legends. You and the patrons allow us to do so much of what we do every. Without you guys, really, like, and it's like the kindness, the support. It makes the channel what it is. So thank you guys so much. And as always, I want to keep bringing as much as I can to you guys here on YouTube, and that's one way that we can do that. Because at the end of the day, without y'all, we wouldn't even be here. But that's just for you guys. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everybody.